The eyes of the nation are on Florida this weekend. Of course, it's home right now to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're going to face the Kansas City Chiefs in Super Bowl 55.
So let's bring in Florida Lieutenant Governor Jeanette Nuñez on how she's handling the pressure of hosting the big game, as well as her state's ongoing efforts to battle COVID-19. Thank you for being with us, Lieutenant Governor. You know, Super Bowl capacity limited to 25,000. 7,500 of those fans, of course, will be vaccinated healthcare workers. Do you have any concerns about this game as it pertains to COVID-19 being a super spreader of any way?
No, absolutely not. As you mentioned, a good portion of those attendees are vaccinated, are healthcare heroes that have been on the front lines. And the NFL, Tampa Bay, the Raymond James Stadium, they've all done a phenomenal job in making sure they're going to follow all the protocols, everything necessary to keep those that are attending safe. And so I'm looking forward to not only making sure this is going to be a great event, that our Bucks are going to win, but also that our people that are going are going to be safe.
But what about the folks, not at the stadium, but around town, around your state, who, look, we've seen a lot of videos and a lot of partying, and right now this is a national holiday, a Super Bowl. What are your concerns, though, and what are restrictions in place, and even how are you going to, I guess, kind of police, if you will, those parties, people going out and being around each other?
Our governor has been very strong throughout the pandemic, making sure that he puts the onus on individuals, making sure we are not a lockdown state. We have shown that you can keep the economy going, that people need to do the right thing. Obviously, we want to make sure people are safe, doing what they need to do. But we also want people to enjoy this time. We want to get back to some semblance of normalcy, which is why we've been focused strictly on making sure our seniors are vaccinated, our healthcare workers are vaccinated, trying to get as much shots in arms as possible. It's been a challenging year. Last year was a very challenging year. We know that this year we're going to continue to face some challenges, but we're full steam ahead. We're looking forward to getting back to some semblance of normalcy. And we know that come this Sunday, folks are going to get together. We ask them to be responsible, take those precautions, and make sure they're doing things the right way.
And speaking of those challenges, I want to talk a little bit about your vaccine rollout. Your governor announced a pilot program to try and set aside some COVID-19 vaccines for homebound seniors. But this is a pretty concerning statistic. 36% of Florida's nursing home employees chose to take the first dose of vaccine. That's not a great percentage. What are you doing to try and get people to trust these vaccines and get vaccinated?
Well, we think the most important thing, obviously, is that these healthcare workers recognize and acknowledge the benefits of getting vaccinated. I think early on there was some hesitation. I saw that even in hospitals. But what we're seeing now is as more people get vaccinated and they're seeing the benefits, we expect that more and more workers will want to get vaccinated. So we're going back around. We didn't just say we're going to go one time and that's it if you change your mind. We want to make sure that they have access to it. And clearly the residents in nursing homes are very vulnerable. As we know, the elderly clearly are the most at risk, but even those in nursing homes are that much more at risk. So we want to make sure that they have access and that they trust the individuals, not just politicians telling them get vaccinated, but those that are in positions of trust, those that are in positions, obviously the health department, working with their peers, physician groups, nurses, all of those individuals that are in the healthcare industry. We want to make sure that they understand the benefits and that they see what their peers are doing, see how it's obviously something that's going to be so important for them for the future. And so we're hopeful that they will come around on round two.
The White House actually said only about 50% of the doses they sent to you all in Florida were actually administered. That was earlier this week. Is that still the case? And what are the numbers now? How do you get them up?
Well, unfortunately, when you operate in sound bites and snippets, you don't see the whole picture. So it's easy for someone to go before a podium and say Florida isn't giving out the vaccine. That's simply not the case. Florida is the first state in the country to vaccinate more than 1 million seniors. So I would challenge anyone to say that our rollout has been slow. We recognize many seniors and many other individuals that are in that priority list have not been able to get the vaccine, but that is simply a product of supply. We want to make sure that people that get that first dose have that second dose available to them, and we're not going to divert that for first shots. And so I think that's where the rub is. But, you know, we're moving forward. We don't want to delve into all of that back and forth. We just want more vaccines. So if the federal government wants to help Florida, they can send us more vaccine.
Finally, Lieutenant Governor, you're a member of Florida's statewide council on human trafficking, and we heard from the Attorney General there. In light of the Super Bowl, there is a potential increase of human trafficking in your area. What are you doing as a state to try and prevent that?
So human trafficking obviously is something, it's a scourge in our society. And what we've seen is that clearly in events like this, Super Bowl being one of them, you see an uptick in activity. And so last year we focused quite heavily on educating, on making sure law enforcement had all the tools at their disposal. So we saw 47 arrests, 24 girls rescued. That is something obviously that we're proud of the work that we did on the front end. And we've been continuing that work through the work of the council, working with our law enforcement partners, our nonprofits, those that are fighting this fight each and every day. Because while you see the uptick during Super Bowl and it's a tragic thing, but this occurs 365 days a year. So here in Florida, we've taken aggressive measures to combat it, but we want those that come here with the express purpose of looking to prey on our youth, to let them know that Florida's closed for business. We will not allow them to come into our state and prey on our girls and our boys.
Florida Lieutenant Governor Jeanette Nuñez, thank you so much for your time today. We know you have a very busy weekend ahead, so we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.